All right. Welcome to the OP Network. It is your boy JT here in the SAC, where the temperature is always regulated. It is an episode of JT Fixes the World. That's right. It's where me, your boy, JT, fixes a world problem that is plaguing society, so to speak. What problem are we fixing today? Well, I think we're going to tackle dating. Now, don't forget to like and subscribe. At the time of this recording, I believe we're at 5 subscribers. Don't worry about the fact that it includes me and my wife. We're still at 5. That counts. We need 5 more to get to 10. That's right. I've always wanted 10 subscribers. 10. Ever since I had a paper route when I was a little boy. There was only 8 people that wanted newspapers. I thought, man, what it would be like to have 10 subscribers. And then YouTube became a thing. And then 25 years later, I decided to try it. I've always wanted 10 subscribers. Always. Help a little boy's dream come true. I didn't really have a paper route. I was lying to them. Oh, shit. My bad. Anyway, so today we're going to fix dating. Dating. What's wrong with dating? Is it men? Is it women? Is it the apps? Are there really no good men left out there? Are all women just money-grubbing charlatans? Or as Grandma used to say, whores? Grandma didn't really say that. I'm just kidding. Sorry, Grandma. Well, let me tell you something, fellas. The buck stops here a little bit, because as much as women are being ridiculous, it's up to us. I don't know if you've ever tried to have a woman solve a problem for you. I wouldn't suggest it, is all I'm saying. The buck stops here, man. Here's the problem. Women. What's this 666 thing? You're devils? 6 feet tall, at least 6 inches, making 6 figures. Is that not the mark of the beast? Do you realize that narrows your pool down to like 1% of the entire population? So you better be an absolute smoke show with a good personality, which is hard to find, or you're not going to have a chance. And by the way, the top 5% of those dudes who are getting things thrown at them, and I don't mean like someone throwing a pot at someone's head, but when their things are being thrown at them like nothing, why would they settle down? So you're trying to ice skate uphill, as the great Wesley Snipes used to say, or he said once in that movie. So you got to lower your standards a little bit. What? Lower my standards? Absolutely not. There's nothing wrong with having standards. Okay, well, then temper your expectations, because you're going to get what you've been getting. Because you see what happens is, and people don't like to admit this, women don't date down. And I mean in status. There's always a good-looking girl with a worse-looking dude, but that dude either has money, he's something about him makes him a higher status. So right now what we have is you have 1 through 10. You have your 5s, 6s, your 4s on the women's side using these dating apps, and every once in a while they're hooking up with this 7, 8, 9, 10. They're like, and then they start thinking, hey, that's what I deserve. Well, I'm sorry, honey, but you don't. Okay, some people, we need to understand who we are. All right, I am not Brad Pitt. I'm not as ugly as that son of a bitch. Right, baby? See? You have to be realistic with what you think, with who you are and what you can pull. Used to be when you were at the bar until 2 a.m., desperately trying to find someone to take home, you ended up buffalo hunting. Let me tell you something. Those buffalo were very, very appreciative of the hunt. They showed it. They knew who they were. Now, you have the buffaloes out there trying to get the best squaws they can. Is that a thing? Is a squaw a thing? Anyway, you know what I'm talking about. If you don't know what a buffalo hunter is, it is someone who is hunting larger game, if you know what I mean. And there's nothing wrong with that. If that's what they wanted to do, they wanted to hang around, live a little bit of the good life. trade up a little bit. But they weren't sitting at the end of the bar when good old Johnny Bravo came up to him and was like, "Oh, mama." They didn't go, "Oh my God, I'm so much better than you," which is what happens with dating apps. Dating apps, men and women don't understand the other's experience on a dating app. Let me tell you, ladies, what a man's experience is on a dating app. And then I'll tell you men. So if you're an average looking dude, you're not ugly, you're not great, you have an okay job, you're just a normal dude, right? You're not posting shirtless pictures in the mirror, and you don't have any pictures of you with fish. I mean, those are awesome pictures, but not for a dating app. You're just a regular old dude. You know how many swipes, how many matches you get in a week? 1 to 2, maybe, if you're lucky. 1 to 2 per week, if you're lucky. That's the average guy. So, the average guy knows it's just a numbers game. So what does he do? He swipes right on everyone. And I mean everyone. There are dudes out there who I know whose strategy is just to go boop, 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 every single one. It's like mining for Bitcoin or something, just so he can get his numbers up to maybe get a match. Because once you get a match, then you have the age old, you better come with something besides hey or what's up or hello. And from a dude's perspective, why? Because I can tell you, as someone who has definitely come with things that were not hey, what's up and hello, getting a decent conversation out of a female, especially on a dating app, it's difficult. Because a lot of them seem to think that a good conversation is only one-sided. You have to come up with some existential question that interests them beyond belief. If you find somebody like that on a dating app, ladies, you probably should have some red flags popping up, because that means he's put a lot of thought into that, a lot of planning. It's been a lot of whatchamacallit, workshopping done on this. So that's not the kind of guy that you really want to take. So a guy has no return, almost. No return. A decent looking dude, an average dude, no return. 0. So what's he going to do? If he's just trying to get laid, he's tired of the bullshit, he just starts sending out dick pics. Because whether you ladies want to admit it or not, there are those of you out there who will just go, "Oh, hey," and you respond. And if he's just trying to cut to the chase, he's kind of just being honest, to be honest with you. I'm not saying it's the right thing to do. I'm just saying it happens. Now, men, what you don't realize is that women, an average-looking, below-average-looking woman, gets hundreds of matches a week, if not more. Hundreds. So she has all kinds of creeps in her DM sending her ridiculous dick pics or what's up messages or hey, hellos. So you kind of understand why they want something for someone to stand out. Because how the hell are they going to decide who to respond to? They don't even have the time in the day to respond to all these people. So what does she have to go off of? She has to go off your pictures. Well, you're holding a fish, and unless she's expressly into fishing, yeah, I mean, if you have a shirt with you, shirt off, showing your abs, I mean, some girls may like that, but it's not really as big of a turn on as you think. Other than that, it's your personality. So how are they going to figure out your personality? Well, they want you to ask some stupid-ass existential question that intrigues them. What I'm trying to tell you, people, is that dating apps are not where you should be looking to find anybody to date long term. Where did we meet, honey? Oh, a dating app. Do as I say, not as I do. That was just luck. Pure blind luck. In fact, when I met her, I was kind of mean to her because I thought she was not an Indian. I thought she was Nigerian, because you always get there. M from Texas. M from Texas. Okay, what part? I'm from. I don't know how many times I put. I got to the point where the very first thing I would say to people before I said hello, I would just say, "What city and state are you from?" And they go. Sometimes they would just ignore it. Other times they would say, "USA." Now I've heard a couple of people now. I think one, in fact, say that they used to answer USA. But that's not how people from the USA answer. Nobody says, "I'm from the USA." The USA is so fucking big. You'll at least say the state. And no, nobody's going to find you if you put the city. It's not creepy to ask for someone's city, for God's sakes, unless you live in such a small town that there's only like 1,000 people. But just use the nearest big city. St. Louis, Missouri, if they're going to go through the trouble of finding you, that's not the clue that led them to your doorstep. So you think you're talking to Nigerians? Most of the time we are. So most of the time dudes around here talking to Nigerians, they're fake. They're not real women. They're people trying to play on their loneliness. And it's made men desperate. Now, don't get me wrong. Men have always been desperate. There's always been a section of men that were desperate. But the thing is those men used to never have money, right? Like they were a certain section of men. Now you have these desperate men on here paying people for everything. If you pay for OnlyFans, you should be locked up. Why would you pay someone for? First of all, porn is a whole other subject on the internet. So stop watching porn. But why would you pay for it? It's all free. What the hell's wrong with you? It's like if there was two parking places right next to each other, and one said you had to pay $10 an hour, and the other said it was free, and they're both empty. Would you choose to park in the one that said $10 an hour? I mean, a lot of you would, apparently. But anyway, I digress. So, what's the problem? What have we solved here so far? Absolutely nothing. It is a man and a woman problem. It is not just one side's problem. Yes, women are being ridiculous. Women have gone out of control. And the laws are not written for men in most places, so that doesn't help. So why would a man get married? Women, the best advice I can give you is nobody gives a shit where you went to college. Nobody cares what your job is or how ambitious you are. Most men want peace. They want, no matter what their job is, they have to go and deal with a bunch of other assholes. And they don't want to come home and have to deal with another one that's in their bedroom. They want someone who is kind, who is helpful, and who can help bring them peace. They want respect and peace. Men? Oh man, where do I get started with you guys? Men. Quit being so goddamn desperate, dude. That is not super hot Jennifer that you're talking to from OnlyFans. That's Jennifer's. Oh, well, but now it's going to be a bot. But before it was a dude named fucking Alex who was answering for you going, oh, you like it when I do that? You like when I do that, Steve? You're not even talking to that girl. Quit sending money to people you don't know over the internet. As a general rule, just don't do it. Just don't do it. So I would say, if you want to fix dating, men, stand your ground. Quit being so fucking pathetic. Quit letting these women push you around. Just because they have the same, if not better, earning potential than you do right now. Who gives a shit? Women, we don't care if you can make more money. Just because somebody doesn't like you doesn't mean that they are afraid of a strong, independent woman. It means they have to deal with, 5 or 8 dicks every day at work. They don't want to deal with another one when they come home. They want someone who's agreeable, who's kind, the things that they are not good at. I am an asshole. Therefore, my wife is not an asshole. Because then we'd just be a couple of assholes out here stinking the room up. One of us needs to bring some fresh air. That's you, right, babe? She doesn't smell like an asshole. I do. Wait. That's not what I meant to say. You get the point. So you might ask yourself, you might be saying, hey, I don't think you fixed shit. Well, it's because you weren't paying attention. Just watch it again. Okay? I fixed it. I fixed it all. I fixed dating. No more dating apps. Dating apps should only be for people trying to get laid. That's what they started as. Whatever. If you want to get laid, go on a dating app. If you don't want to get laid, don't go on a dating app. If you don't want to see a dick pic, don't go on a dating app. If you don't want to get dissed by a fat girl that you wouldn't give the time of day to in the real world, don't go on a dating app. Just know what you're getting into. Ladies. What? The fat girl I wouldn't give a time of day to? Ouch. And see, that's what you got to do. You got to find a woman who's beautiful, who thinks very low of themselves, because it makes everything a lot easier. And you don't want to make it worse, but you also don't want to let it get too much better. Okay, you got to keep them that happy medium. Every once in a while, you got to get throw in a. His pants are looking a little tight, huh, sweetheart? No, but you can't find someone to love. I hate. Just be careful, both women and men. Men, it's on you. You know why? Because you're supposed to be in charge. There's not a woman out there who, at the end of the day, well, I shouldn't say there's not a woman. There's obviously exceptions, but even most of your boss bitches out there, they're only that way until they find a man who can tame them, who is man enough or the right kind of man to put them in their place. And boys, the best piece of advice I could give you is be willing to take the L. Have some self-respect and walk away knowing it's going to hurt. But she doesn't need to know that. Don't call her back. Don't call and be like, oh, baby. Have some self-respect, man. Listen to Patrice O'Neill, The Black Phillip Show. Be willing to take the L. Problem solved. Just got a little bit of homework to do. And for those naysayers out there who say, no, you didn't solve any problems. Like I said, watch it again. Watch it until you figure out what I was trying to tell you. And whatever that is, whatever you figure out, that's what I was trying to tell you. Problem solved. If you're one of my kids, go to bed.